Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are to everybody. Welcome to the CloudStack European User Group virtual. It's nice to see so many people here again. I think Yvette told me 250 registrations we've got, which is just amazing because this is obviously predominantly only a European focused CloudStack event. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Giles Sirett. I'm the founder of the CloudStack European User Group. We've been running the group now for about 9 years. I'm a PMC member and committer in the Apache CloudStack project. And during the day, I run a company called ShapeBlue. I do lots of other things. I'm a recovering software engineer from many, many years ago. For those of you who are new to our group, the overall sort of aims when we set up this group is, this is a collaborative environment for anything to do with Apache CloudStack, related technology, what we call ecosystem products, storage products, networking products, hypervisors, etc. And traditionally, we've met quarterly, although the global pandemic has thrown a spanner in the works with that a little bit. So we've just been meeting annually online for the last 2 years. And the idea of these events is we share, deep dives, issues, best practices, case studies, anything related to Apache CloudStack. Even though we don't have a physical location for this event, there's still costs associated with it. There's still costs of organisation. So I want to say a massive thank you to the organisations who have sponsored today's event. ShapeBlue, my company, Storepool, the storage guys who've got some great integration with Apache CloudStack, eWork, who are doing some really interesting stuff with CloudStack over in Germany and have done a lot of contributions recently around things like the tungsten integration. Limbit, another great storage vendor who again have got some fantastic integration into Apache CloudStack. Cloud Infra from the Netherlands, Braz Cloud, which is, some people say, strange, a Brazilian company sponsoring a European event, but now we're virtual. Anybody can sponsor and anybody can come along. They're a service provider based it down in Brazil. And then Dimsy, a company we know well, a service provider based in France, I believe headquartered in Paris. Well, I just ask everybody who's come to this event, just check these guys out, mention them on a tweet or follow them on Twitter or something. They've given money to allow us and resources to allow us to do this event. I say thank you to them all, and please join me in doing so by giving them a mention or just checking out their products and services. In terms of today's agenda, we've got a very full agenda. I think I counted 11 talks. We're going straight through, so there's no breaks, there's no lunch break or anything. There's a gap in between each talk, and the logic with that is, as a virtual event, we sort of thought people will want to dip in and out. They'll find their own time to go and get a sandwich for lunch or something, so we'll just keep the talks coming. These are all in in European summertime. We just started at 9:30 and we finish at 17:15. We're going right the way through. I'm going to just quickly do a bit of CloudStack news just for 10 minutes. After me, we have Rene talking about Ansible with CloudStack. Rene is the author of the Ansible CloudStack module, so great person to talk about that. Next up, we have Sanando, 10:40. Sanando's talking about using their product, Apiculus, to leverage some of the power of CloudStack in a commercial service provider environment. Venko and Peter are on at 11:35 talking about building a DR solution with CloudStack. At 12:30, Suresh is doing a deep dive really into job queues in CloudStack, some really useful background stuff in terms of troubleshooting job queues and working with them. At 13:35, we have a talk about security in shared networks with VMware NSX. At 14:05, I need a new slide here. 14:05, we have Jesus. Jesus talking about cybersecurity elements with the CloudStack Kubernetes service. 1500, Guido from Cloud Infra is talking about boosting I/O performance with KVM. At 15:40, backup and restore in VMs on KVM by Quentin and Joffrey from Dimsey. At 16:20, Peter from AWS, from Amazon Web Services, is coming to talk about building a Kubernetes CAPI provider for CloudStack. I'm really excited about this talk. I'm really excited to hear somebody from Amazon come into the CloudStack community and talk about some of the work they've been doing in the community. Last talk of the day, we have Sina from LeaseWebs talking about exposing router VM statistics. After the last talk, we've got virtual beers, a virtual hangout at 17:45. That's in the agenda. And these are normally quite nice. A few of us turn up, have a bit of a chat, discuss a few ideas and that sort of thing. It'll probably last for about half an hour, 45 minutes. We also have in the event platform, if you explore that, there are some lounges. Anybody can just go into a lounge, just click on one of the chairs, and you can just use that to go and connect and speak to people and hang out with people and just have a chat about whatever you want. And there's also functionality if you want to meet or book a meeting or engage with anybody else on the attendee list for today. You can do that simply by going and finding their name. Just as a note on the agenda you see on the event platform, hopefully you've all got that open in front of you. The times you see there are in your local time zone. So I'm here in the UK, so I'm seeing all those times 1 hour behind the ones I just showed you on my screen there. Okay, so let's just have a quick chat about some of the things that have been going on with CloudStack since we last met. And we only met, it was over a year ago, or just about a year ago we met, so there's been quite a lot of stuff going on. And first of all, an announcement. The CloudStack Collaboration Conference this year, 2022, is scheduled for the 14th to the 16th of November. And that is normally a much bigger event than these European user groups. Normally an order of magnitude bigger in terms of numbers and number of speakers and that sort of thing. Last year, we did this as a virtual event on this platform we're using today. The really exciting news is this year it's going to be a hybrid event. So it's going to be virtual, probably using this platform, and there will be a physical location with real conference rooms and real speakers in person where we can all get together and have a coffee and have a few beers. I'm really excited about this. All the talks will be streamed on the platform, and there may be a few speakers who are being streamed into the event location. That location is being worked on at the moment. All I can say at the moment is I think it's going to be somewhere in Europe as opposed to the US. There is a website. We've had this for a number of years, cloudstackcolab.org. Keep an eye on that website for some announcements about where the conference is going to be. And just to clarify here, we have on a number of previous years co-located the CloudStack Collab with ApacheCon. That isn't happening this year. I think a number of people are submitting CloudStack talks, and I think there's talk of a CloudStack track at ApacheCon, but the main CloudStack event is going to be its own standalone event. Okay, also in the last year, we've been working busy in the developer community working on releases. November, I think at the end of November, we released 4.16.0. And since then, only about 3-4 weeks ago, I think, we had 4.16.1, which was just a maintenance release on top of 4.16. 4.17 is currently being worked on. I think the freeze date, I saw somebody, Nicholas, who I think is the release manager, is talking about the 25th of April for the freeze date. So we'd expect to see release candidates in about a month's time. Realistically, the release a week or two after that, I would guess. Obviously, that does change from time to time. The 4.16 release was a really great release. There was a lot of big new headline features in 4.16, and I know a lot of the people who are running CloudStack in production are now running 4.16 or 4.16.1. 4.16 brought Dell PowerFlex and Limbit integration, so two new storage technologies we have enhanced integration with. A lot of work went into further enhancements of the CloudStack Kubernetes service, things like auto scaling, for example. A lot of improvements in the CloudStack UI. My favorite, the ability to select multiple objects and perform an action like stopping a VM, for example, or I could select 10 VMs and stop them all or restart them all, that sort of thing. A lot of improvements to the upgrade process, particularly around the system VM, which is now packaged with everything else with CloudStack. And then a lot of improved tools and management tools, but all about making operating a CloudStack environment easier. 4.17, as I say, is in progress. The code freeze hasn't happened yet, so nobody can give a definitive list of exactly what's going to be in it. But things I expect to be in it, so store pools integration is going in a release proper for the first time. That'll be great to see. Probably the biggest headline is finally zero downtime upgrade. So a lot of work over 3-4 years has gone into improving the upgrade process of CloudStack. And there's some work gone in around the system VMs for the virtual router, which finally gives us an upgrade with zero network downtime, which is a massive milestone for CloudStack. There's a new API, new functionality for monitoring the status of your CloudStack, your management servers. IPv6 with static routing is in, and also user shared networks. So traditionally shared networks have had to be created by the cloud admin. Now users can go and create their own shared networks, which will be pretty interesting. In terms of the community itself, I like to just sort of keep an eye and report back on how things are going generally with the CloudStack community, do a little bit of analysis. This is our monthly mailing list activity. What's that for? Just over the last year, and you'll see we have the cycles around releases. This is looking at the dev, marketing, and the users lists, but you'll see us averaging about 200 odd email threads a month, which is a very vibrant and healthy open source community. The other thing people often ask me is, how many actual active contributors are there to CloudStack? And this is a hard thing to judge because it depends how you look at it. You look at the number of different names on PRs and commits. You look at how many people are interacting with mailing lists. That's what I've done here. This is taking how many concurrent mailing list contributors there were at any one time, and I've then summarized that up to year by year, and you'll see, I suppose the easy average is to say about 200. We have about 200 people engaged in predominantly the development community at any one time. We have obviously a lot of other people who dip in and out and are not as engaged on the development side, but it just gives you an idea of the sort of scale of what's going on with CloudStack. And the number of monthly Git commits are, again, averaging at about 100. Some other news, Google Summer of Code kicks off again. The application window closes on the 18th of April. For those of you who don't know, Google Summer of Code will sponsor students to work in an open source project. We've got some brilliant candidate projects. And what I ask for people here, if you know any students, generally these are final year students on software engineering degrees or computer science degrees who want to do a summer internship with a great open source project, get in touch, get on the mailing list, just look at the Google Summer of Code website or come to the CloudStack website. We've got some really interesting looking projects. There's been a lot going on the marketing side for CloudStack. Yvette has been driving a lot of that with a number of other contributors in the community. We've got a CloudStack integrations series of videos and papers coming out. Meet the CloudStack community, which gives people a chance to see some of the, or sort of get to know some of the engineers and the people who are working on CloudStack. A lot of new case studies, and the CloudStack blog is now a lot more active than it ever was before. As always, we always need to do more on this side. So I'd encourage anybody who wants to do a story about their company or is a contributor and wants to do a meet the community session, please reach out on the mailing list, the marketing mailing lists, and let Yvette and the guys know. And the final bit of news, we have a new VP of Apache CloudStack. The VP is the interface between the project management committee and the Apache board. It's the head of the project. Gabrielle had done an amazing job for the last 12 months. We cycle the VP. It's in our bylaws to cycle the VP every 12 months. Simon Weller was unanimously voted in and accepted the position. Simon's based in the US. He did say he was going to drop into this event at some point today, but it's very early in the morning for him. He may even be here now. There's some contact details there for Simon and anybody who's interested in getting in touch. Okay, that's everything from me. To join the next sessions, you just go to the agenda in the conference site, hit join session. Next up is Renee. I'm very much looking forward to Renee's talk, and everybody, please have a great day today and enjoy the talks.
Thank you very much, Giles. Unfortunately, we don't have any time for questions currently, but I'm pretty sure that Giles will be in our lounge zone. So if you want to talk with him, grab a coffee and go to the lounge zone. And now I also invite you to join the next talk of Renee.